That day, I filmed a video to announce I was quitting everything. The next day, it had 1 million views. And watching it, I finally understood the fatal flaw I'd been making for years, the mistake that probably explains why your own content isn't working today. In this video, I'm not going to give you a list of 10 rehashed tips. I'm going to tell you my story. A story of sleepless nights, self-doubt, and a revelation that changed absolutely everything. We'll look together at the 7 steps of this fall and rebirth, so you can identify the trap you might be falling into right now. Chapter 1: The Illusion of Perfection. It all started in my small studio, which had become both my sanctuary and my prison. I was a content creator, specializing in making miniature dioramas. Each video was a work of art. I'd spend weeks sculpting, painting, assembling. Then entire days filming. I'd invested in an exorbitantly priced camera, 3 professional lights, a microphone so sensitive it could pick up a mosquito's wings fluttering 20 meters away. Every shot was meticulously planned. Every cut, every transition, every musical note was chosen with surgical precision. My videos were, objectively, perfect. Technically flawless. Slow tracking shots over pristine figurines, mesmerizing time-lapses, 4K quality so crisp you could see the dust I'd forgotten to wipe away. And the result? 47 views. 82 views. My masterpiece, a video I'd spent over 100 hours on, topped out at 112 views in a month. Most probably came from my mom and a few friends I'd pestered. It was more than disappointing, it was humiliating. I poured my heart and soul into it, and the table was empty. No one came to the banquet. I saw videos thrown together with a phone, poorly lit, getting hundreds of thousands of views, and I didn't understand why. Rage was building. I was convinced the problem was the algorithm, luck, or the audience having no taste. The problem was everyone else. Never me. My quest for perfection blinded me. I was polishing a diamond in a dark cave, hoping someone would intuit its brilliance from outside. Chapter 2: The Spiral of Failure. Faced with this constant failure, I did what every desperate creator does: I doubled down. I started analyzing all the best practices. I spent nights watching tutorials on titles, thumbnails, descriptions, tags. I created ultra-clickable thumbnails with red arrows and shocked faces. I wrote long, keyword-stuffed titles, incredible hyperrealistic diorama step-by-step, ASMR. I posted at 6:03 p.m. on Tuesday, because an obscure study said that was the optimal time slot. The results? 120 views. 95 views. Sometimes, it was worse than before. Each video posted was another blow. I became obsessed with statistics. I refreshed the page every 5 minutes, my heart pounding, hoping to see a spike, an anomaly, a sign that the universe had finally recognized my genius. But the curve remained stubbornly flat. It was the ECG of a deceased patient. My content was stillborn. Doubt began to settle in, a slow poison. What if I simply wasn't cut out for this? What if my work just sucked? Passion turned into a chore. The joy of creating was replaced by performance anxiety. My studio, once a refuge, now resembled a crime scene where my hopes were the victims. But that wasn't all, the worst was yet to come. Chapter 3: The Community Mirror. Out of spite, I started looking more closely at the creators who were succeeding with their imperfect content. At first, I was just jealous. I criticized everything. Listen to that audio, you can hear background noise. His camera's shaking, it's amateur. He's stammering, he didn't even prepare a script. I took comfort in my technical superiority, a way to shield myself from my own mediocrity in terms of results. Then, watching more closely, I started to notice something. A common thread. These creators weren't just showing something. They were sharing something. The guy tinkering in his garage wasn't just showing how to build a shelf, he was recounting his struggles, the time he almost cut off a finger, he cursed a stubborn screw, he burst out laughing when he messed up. The girl cooking wasn't just giving a recipe, she talked about her grandmother who taught her, her stress of ruining the dish before friends came over. They weren't presenters. They were humans. They had opinions, emotions, flaws. Their imperfections weren't mistakes, they were their signature. Their communities weren't coming to see a perfect shelf or a perfect cake. They were coming to spend time with someone they genuinely enjoyed. And that's when the first crack appeared in my armor of perfection. My videos showed a diorama. Theirs showed a soul. The difference was abysmal. And I was about to understand it in the most brutal way imaginable. Chapter 4, The Breaking Point. The coup de grace came with the Phoenix Project. That's what I'd called my most ambitious diorama. A phoenix rising from its ashes, with integrated LEDs to simulate flames, resin for a molten lava effect. A month and a half of work. Over €300 in materials. I had documented every step in a 20-minute video, which I edited for 72 hours non-stop. The title, The Most Epic Diorama You'll Ever See. The thumbnail, a macro shot of the flamboyant phoenix, with added lightning in Photoshop. I clicked publish with a mix of exhaustion and delusional hope. This was it. The video that would change everything. I felt it. A week later. 63 views. 13 likes. And one comment, cool. That was it. The word cool echoed in my head like an insult. All that work, that passion, that obsession for cool. That night, something broke inside me. I looked at my studio, the figurines on the shelves, the expensive equipment. And for the first time, I felt nothing but disgust. I was tired. Empty. I made a decision. It was over. I was going to quit everything. Chapter 5, The Spark in the Chaos. In a final surge of, I don't know what, anger, sadness, a need to draw a line under it all, I grabbed my phone. I never used it for filming, I considered it a toy. My desk was a battleground. Open paint pots, tools everywhere, dried resin stuck to the table. The lighting was terrible, just a ceiling light casting harsh shadows on my tired face. I pressed record and started talking. No script. No filter. I spilled everything. The frustration. The feeling of being invisible. The exhaustion. I showed the Phoenix diorama, saying, this is the thing that finished me off. I showed my messy desk, saying, this is what failure looks like. I wasn't trying to be inspiring or motivational. I was just real. I filmed for 10 minutes, in one take. I barely trimmed the beginning and end. The audio was mediocre. The image was grainy. It was the absolute antithesis of everything I had produced until then. I gave it a simple title, I'm quitting. Here's why. No capitals, no keywords. Just a sentence. I published the video without even choosing a thumbnail, letting YouTube select a random one, a blurry image of my face half in shadow. Then I turned off my computer and went to bed, feeling strangely liberated. The nightmare was over. Chapter 6, The Awakening. The next morning, my phone wouldn't stop vibrating on my bedside table. My first thought was, it's an alarm I forgot to turn off. I grabbed it, eyes still heavy with sleep, and saw the screen. Hundreds of notifications. YouTube. Instagram. Emails. My heart raced. I thought it was a bug, or a wave of harassment. I opened the YouTube app. The video. The farewell video. It had 200,000 views. Overnight. I sat up in bed, completely stunned. I refreshed the page. 215,000, I started reading the comments. There were thousands. Your story is my story. Thank you for putting words to what I feel. I shed a tear. Don't give up, we're with you. This is the first of your videos I've seen. and it's the truest I've seen in months on this platform. We don't care about 4K. We want this. Honesty. I read, and I didn't understand. People weren't mocking my failure. They were connecting with it. My greatest vulnerability had become my greatest strength. My perfect content was cold, distant, sterile. It appealed to the intellect. That video, thrown together, spoke to the heart. My content wasn't working because it had no soul. I had been so focused on the wrapping that I'd forgotten to put a gift inside. Chapter 7, True Connection. This experience was an electric shock. The lesson wasn't make ugly videos or complain to the camera. The lesson was much deeper. Your content isn't working, not because of the algorithm, your camera, or your titles. It's not working because it's probably disembodied. We're obsessed with the what to film, what topic, what trend. We spend hours on the how to get better sound, better lighting, better editing. But we almost always forget the why. Why are you doing this? What emotion do you want to convey? What part of yourself are you sharing beyond raw information? Technical perfection breeds admiration. Human vulnerability creates connection. People don't buy a product, they buy a story. They don't follow a creator, they follow a person. Your audience doesn't want a perfect superhero. They want to see someone like them, with their doubts, their struggles, and their small victories. So stop hiding behind your technical prowess. Stop polishing your videos until they lose all flavor. Show your mistakes. Share your doubts. Explain your why. The secret ingredient for content that works isn't 4K, it's empathy. It's the invisible bond you create with the person watching you, alone, on the other side of their screen. Your content will only work the day you stop creating content and start creating connection. That day, I didn't quit. I started again. Differently. Comment go if you want to launch your business. Don't forget to subscribe.